Hey everyone, welcome back to this master series on learning coding patterns. My name is Muhammad Ali, and today we are going to start a new approach, which is stack approach to solve our data structures questions. Okay, so what stack approach is? So if you are in computer science, I suppose you already know what stack is, but let's say if you're not familiar with stack, so stack simply means, like, let's say you have a container, let's say you have a jug. Okay, now what you did, you filled this jug first of all with some, let's say, cream. Okay, there's this creamy solution. Now afterwards you filled this jug with some ice cream. Okay, so what we will say, this ice cream will be called last in. Okay, because it was it was put into our jug like after this creamy solution, right? So it was last in. But let's say we are thirsty now and we have this glass, and when we will start filling up this glass, what will happen? We will pour something from this jug out and we will fill this glass with that something. Okay, so what that something will be? That something will be ice cream. Because why? Ice cream is the you can say it is on top, so that's why it will come first, and then our creamy solution will come following our ice cream. So this ice cream will be called first out. Okay, when we will start filling up, then it will be called as last in, and when we will start filling out, so what we will say, first out. And this LIFO, this is called LIFO, last in first out, and this principle like is, you can say, applied in stack approach. So what we do in our stack is that, let me remove this thing. Okay, so let's say we have this stack, okay, this array. So what we will do, we will start filling up this array from very behind, for example 0. But then when we want to enter, like when we want to fill next element, what we will do, we will simply push this 0 forward, and this 1, let's say, will come here. Same will happen with 2. So these two elements will be pushed forward, and 2 will come at the very last point, and this point will be referred as top. Okay, now I suppose now stack is pretty much clear to you, that what stack is, what top is. Top is the last point in of our stack, or you can say of our jug. Top is the very top point. Okay, so what this top means, like whenever we will start you can say when we start pouring out something from our jug, what will happen? This top will come first, and then we will go towards the, let's say, solution or liquid after this top. Okay, but this top will come first. So I suppose now stack is at least clear to you what stack is. So let's jump towards this question. So I hope, like, stack you will find stack very simple, very easy, but this easy and simple approach can be utilized to solve very intuitive questions, and we will see just right now, like, how we can utilize this stacking part to solve this question. So this is the question number 496 of Leetcode, and the question name is next greater element 1. Okay, in simple words, what this question is asking, this question is saying, for each number in array 1, list 1, find the next bigger number from array 2. Okay, for example, let's say we have this 4 here. So what we will do, first of all, in list 2, we will try to one by one look at each element, and we will try to find whatever element we have in list 1 in list 2. Once we will find the element, let's say here it was 4, and now here we have found 4. So what we will do, we will look at elements right to the current element, like the element that we have found. For example, here in this case it is 2. Okay, what we will do, we will check whether the element at right is a greater element than the element we are looking at right now. For example, here we are looking at 4. So is 2 greater than 4? No, it is not. What we will do, we will further along look at other elements, but here you can see, like, there is no element. So what we will do, we will put in our result -1. that there is no greater element present in list 2, okay, that is greater than the element we are currently looking at in list 1. Once we are done with this, what we will do, let's say here we were, so we will move forward, and now we are looking at 1. So again we will jump to list 2 and we will see whether we have found 1. Yes, we have found 1. So what we will do, we will see at the right element, the very next right element of 1, if it is greater than the element we are currently looking at, L1, it is fine. If it is not, we will keep looking at the right. Once we will find the element that is greater than the element we are currently looking, we are going to put it in our result. For example, here we have found 3, which is at right of our 1. So what we will do, we will simply come here and put 3 into our result. Now what we will do, we'll further move along towards 2, and now in L2 we will try to find 2. Okay, here is our 2. Okay, but since there is no element at right, what we will do, we will simply put -1 here. So if, let's say, I'm just assuming, like, if there was 4, so what we would have written here, 4 rather than -1. I hope now it's clear to you that what we want to achieve. Now how we are going to achieve it, let's see. So first of all, why we are going to use this stacking part? Okay, because we simply don't want to run 2 loops, nested loops. For example, here in L1, when I am at 4, okay, so I don't want to iterate over each element of L2 to find 4. Then once I reach to 1, then I don't want to iterate over elements of L2. Then when I reach to 2, I don't want to iterate over each element of L2 just to find 2. Okay, we somehow want to save this this expensive, you can say, memory complexity, time complexity of O of n square. So that's why our aim is to somehow reduce it to O of n or something similar, but this time complexity should be lesser than the O of n square. Okay, now how we are going to achieve this part? So for that, we are first going to start from L2 first of all. Okay, and then we have this ng_map. This is next greater map, so this will help us identify the next greater element. And then we have this stack. In code, this stack will be a list, but here you can assume that this is the stack and this is the list. And here we have this top. So again, what top is representing? Top is representing the last element in our stack, okay, that was put into our stack at the very last, at the very latest. Okay, the latest element of our stack is represented by this top. Okay, now here we have this res, and this res is again a list, but this res will be used for the final result. This will show that what we will get in as a final result. Okay, perfect. Now let's start this question. So we have this L2 and L1. So we will start from this 1, and here you can see current. So this current pointer is representing right now we are at 1. So once we will we will see like what this current is pointing towards. This is pointing towards 1. What we will do, we are going to like update our stack with 1. Okay, that right now our stack contains 1, and this is the top of our stack. Okay, and then what we will do, we will simply move forward to 3. Now we will check whether 3 is greater than 1 or not. Yes, it is greater than 1. And whether stack is empty or not? No, stack is not empty. So these two conditions should be fulfilled. First, stack should not be empty. Second, whatever number we will get at our current position should be greater than the number at top of our stack. So 3 is greater than 1. So what we will do, we will simply write down this 1 here, okay, and this 3 here, which means like we will update our map with this 1 and 3. And then what we will do, we are simply going to remove this one from our top and our stack as well, and we are going to update our stack with 3. Okay, right now 3 will be at our top because we have removed or popped 1 from our stack. Now what we will do, we will move forward, and now our current is pointing towards 4. So again we will check whether stack is empty. No, stack is not empty. And whether this number what current is pointing towards 4 is greater than 3. Yes, it is greater than 3. So again what we will do, we will simply come here, we will write down 3, and this current is pointing towards 4, so we will write down 4 here. And then what we will do, we will simply remove this 3 from here and we will write down 4. Okay, now 4 will be on our top because we have popped 3 from our stack, and now we have inserted 4 here. Now what we will do, we will now our current pointer is pointing towards 2. So what we will do, we will first check whether stack is empty. No, stack is not empty. And this number that current is pointing towards is greater than the number at top of our stack or not. No, it is not. So what we will do, we rather than removing this part, we are simply going to do one thing. We are first, let's say, going to remove this 4 and write down this 4, and we will update our stack with 2. And 2, since 2 is the latest number that is added to our stack, so 2 will be at top. Okay, now we will check whether is there any further element that is present in our L2. No, there is no element that is present at the moment after 2. So what we will do, we will pick the numbers in our stack which are 2 and 4. So and we will update our ng map with these numbers 2 and 4, and the value of these numbers 2 and 4 will be -1 and -1. Okay, so this is how our ng map will look like. Now what we will do, now we are going to use our current pointer for our L1. So now what we will do is that whatever the current pointer will be pointing towards, we will use that number as a key and we will update it here on res. Let me show you. For example, here current is pointing towards 4, and 4's value, this is the key 4, and the value of 4 is -1. So we are simply going to update our result with -1. Then what we will do, we will move current one step forward, and here current is pointing towards 1. So 1 is the key. What is the value? 3. So let's write down 3 here. Then we will move this current one step forward, and here we have encountered 2. So 2 is the key, and what is the value of 2? -1. -1. So -1, 3, and -1, and this is going to be our final result. Oops, sorry. So this is going to be our final result. Okay, -1, 3, and -1. Perfect. So I hope at least at this point you have started to get some sort of intuition, okay, how the code will look like and how this question is going to be solved. Okay, awesome. So now let's move towards the question part. Okay, so this is the question. The question number is 496, next greater element 1 of Leetcode. Okay, and this is the example that we have just seen, and now let's start coding and solve this question via our code. So first of all, I am going to initialize this variable next greater map, and this will be a dictionary. Okay, and then I am creating this variable stack, and this is going to be a list. Now for num in nums2, remember we started from nums2. So for num in nums2, first of all, while stack is not empty and num, whatever the number our current pointer is at, is greater than stack's top, okay, which will be the last position of our stack. So what we will do, we are going to assign what to our next creator map? The pop of our stack. So we are going to do pop, whatever will be on top of our stack, we are going to pop it from our stack, and we are going to assign that number to our next creator map as a key, and the value will be num. Okay, now what we will do afterwards, we are going to append that num to our stack. Okay, now what we will do, once we are done with this iteration, we will use the remaining numbers in our stack. Remember 2 and 4, so what we did to them, we assigned them next creator map, and we assigned them as keys to our next creator map, and the value was -1. Okay, remember 2 and 4, we assigned 2 and 4 to our next creator map but as keys, but the values were -1 and -1. Okay, now finally we are going to write down the logic of return, and what we are going to return, we are going to return a list, but what this list will contain. So next creator map. Okay, now we used L1, okay, for final result. So for num in nums1, the list 1, okay, and we are going to use num here as key in order to get the values. Remember -1, 3 and -1, the final results. So this is how the code will look like, and when I will click on run, and our initial test cases got accepted. Now when I will click on submit, okay, so all of our test cases got accepted. Awesome. So I hope this question is clear to you. This was pretty easy, and I hope stack approach is also at least at this moment is clear to you now, and I will definitely encourage you and request you to please go ahead on Leetcode and try this question by your own self. I hope the visualization and the coding part will help you in understanding this question, this approach, and how to use this approach to solve this question on your own. Okay, if you have any questions, any concerns, feel free to reach out in the comments or on my LinkedIn, and I would be really happy to help you out. Okay, then happy coding, and best wishes to your technical interview prep journey. I'll see you with the new question in the next video. Till then, take care and bye.